Welcome back, guys, to another video on the channel. I hope you guys are well. In today's West Ham video, I want to talk about Olivier Giroud. I want to talk about whether I believe Olivier Giroud would be a good signing for West Ham. But before we get into it, guys, make sure you comment down below your opinion. But also, if you watch my content on a regular basis, support West Ham, enjoy my West Ham content, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We are very close to 1,400 subscribers, and I'm very much appreciative of all the support that I'll get on this West Ham channel, because West Ham's a passion of mine. I love talking about West Ham, and I hope you guys enjoy watching my videos. But guys, the annual Olivier Giroud link to West Ham, it seems like we've been linked to this guy every single transfer window, every single year without fail. But it does look like that Olivier Giroud is going to leave Chelsea this January. Now, it does look like he wants to leave because he wants to get into that France Euro 2021, Euro 2020 squad. It is to be said that Deschamps has said to Giroud that if you want to play, if you want to continue being a #1 striker, then you need to be playing regular football. And it was Alex Crook on TalkSport yesterday, and he said that West Ham and David Moyes are huge admirers of Olivier Giroud. And this has sort of sparked debate. This has sparked debate within the West Ham community, because I watched Gonzo's video and I watched his opinion on basis of, his age, he's too slow, and I wanted to give my opinion because I feel like it's a very good topic to talk about Olivier Giroud, what I do believe he would bring to this to West Ham, the pros and cons, and whether West Ham should actually go and sign. So we're going to talk about the cons first. Now, Olivier Giroud is his age. He is 34 years of age and he is not getting any younger, but I do believe he is one of those players at Arsenal. He was at Arsenal for a long period of time, and he only really managed to score like 11 to 15 goals maximum a season in the Premier League. Okay, I feel like 11 to 12 was probably his best, and if you counted all competitions, he might have scored between 18 to 19 goals a season. But I do feel like with age, he's matured a lot and he's become more prolific. Now, after lockdown for Chelsea, he actually scored 8 goals in 18 games. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot, to be honest. It doesn't sound a lot, 8 goals in a Premier League season. But when you actually take into account a lot of those appearances are from the bench, and the kind of impact that Olivier Giroud has off the bench, it is a pretty decent return. Now, he has played 243 games in the Premier League, right? He's got 86 goals and he's got 28 assists. Now, in the terms of the kind of striker that Olivier Giroud is, he's not just a goal scorer. He is someone that brings the ball, into play with his teammates. He gets on the ball. He likes holding the ball up. And to be honest, he's better than Sebastian Haller in terms of what he does, bringing the ball into play, passing it off. And again, he does share the same characteristics in terms of physically that they're not actually that quick. And what we're trying to build at West Ham, you could probably say the style of play that Olivier Giroud, in terms of getting in behind, in terms of Antonio when he gets in behind, we'd literally be, if we signed Giroud, we'd literally be buying an older version of Sebastian Haller, but just a lot better version, in my opinion, of Sebastian Haller. So that is obviously a concern, is of his age. Now, in terms of what this guy actually brings to West Ham, firstly, experience. Okay, whilst we do have a lot of experienced players within our ranks, Ogbonna's aging, Cresswell's aging, Mark Noble, we do actually have a lot of experience in our team in terms of age, in terms of players who have played abroad, in terms of players that have played for their country, in terms of Aaron Cresswell, Ogbonna. So we do possess a lot of players with experience. Snodgrass also. But Olivier Giroud, a World Cup winner, guys. This is a guy that has scored the second most amount of goals for his country. 41 goals to be exact. He's only 7 behind Thierry Henry, who is the leading goal scorer. And also Giroud is tied with Platini in terms of goals. And there's a reason. There's a reason why France, every single team, every single time you see France in an advanced stage of a World Cup, of a Euros, who is starting up front? It's Olivier Giroud. Who's on the bench? Your big names. Lacazette. Lacazette sometimes doesn't even get in the squad. Your Martials. All those big players, those younger players, compared to Giroud, they're always on the bench. The so-called bigger names. And there's a reason why. It's because it's not just because he can grab you a goal and he's very, very good in the air. It's the fact what he actually does off the ball. He does work hard for the team. What he actually does in terms of giving the ball to him. You can build a team around him in terms of how good his hold-up play is. And I do feel like there is some room to be discussed in regards to whether he would actually be a good signing for West Ham. And as I said, West Ham, it does look like we are going down that road of where we are trying to sign younger, hungrier players coming from the Championship. We signed Bowen. We signed Said Ben Rama. Players who are young, who are of a younger age, players who are hungry, players who want to prove themselves. However, Olivier Giroud, £7 million it's going to cost. Now, I'm not a great fan of that transfer fee. I'm not a great fan of that transfer fee. I do believe Olivier Giroud would be a very good signing for West Ham. I just feel like he would, because if we are going to look to sell Sebastian Haller, I do feel like if we go and sign another Josh King, whilst I do want to sign Josh King because he can play out front, but he can also play out wide, I do feel like that does leave West Ham a little bit too predictable in attack. There's sometimes we do have to adjust our game. Sometimes we do have to be a little bit more physical, be a little bit more direct. And I do feel like Giroud does offer something completely different in terms of what we do actually have in an attack. Now, if you go to Chelsea, I don't want to talk about Chelsea because this is a West Ham, channel, but you do see a complete difference as to when Chelsea play Tammy Abraham, because Tammy Abraham, whilst he's young, he still needs to mature. He's not that great in terms of holding the ball up. He can improve, but he does possess those physical qualities, such as running in behind, such as dragging defenders out into wide areas. But when you go and see Giroud come on the pitch, he offers you something completely different in terms of his physical play, in terms of winning headers, in terms of just being a complete menace to that back line. I do believe if David Moyes does want him, and if the transfer fee was right, he would be a good signing. Now, this is someone who's very reliable. I do feel like he's very reliable. He does score goals. Olivier Giroud, despite his age, as I said, he does seem like he's become more prolific. You've got the players such as Ronaldo. You've got the players such as Ibrahimovic. Now, guys, I'm not saying that Giroud is Ronaldo-esque. I'm not saying that he's Ibrahimovic-esque. But if you are someone who is 34 years of age, 35 years of age, and you're keeping yourself in great condition and you're being a fantastic professional, and Frank Lampard has spoken about how Giroud keeps himself in shape off the pitch, how much of a professional and how much of a great impact he has on that squad in general outside the pitch, he would be a fantastic asset to West Ham, because it does look like in the next couple of years we might be losing a couple of those players. Snodgrass is a fantastic character to have in the dressing room. When the team is down and you need someone maybe to have a joker in the team, someone who's to lift the spirits of the team, Snodgrass is probably one of your men. However, it does look like that Snodgrass is not going to get a contract. So we do need, when we sort of transition from slowly getting rid of players, because maybe they're coming to, maybe they're coming of age and they're coming to their latter end of their career and they're not really having a kind of impact on the West Ham squad and the West Ham first team as they would like. We still need to have that kind of balance between experience, between youth, between players who are hungry, trying to prove their point in the Premier League. And I do believe if the transfer fee was probably in the region of about £4 to £5 million. Now, again, £4 to £5 million is probably of a lot of money. It's probably a lot of money for Olivier Giroud, because you have to take into account his age. He's 34 years of age and he probably has maybe 2 to 3 years maximum left in him at the top level. That would take him to around about 36, 37 years of age, and he does not have any resale value. West Ham, when he comes to the 36, 37 years of age, we would not be able to probably sell him for what we get him. And it is literally a case of Chelsea acknowledging the fact that he's been a decent servant for him, being a very good professional in and around the club, that they are probably willing to let him leave. So it doesn't look like West Ham are one of the main contenders to sign Olivier Giroud. Guys, let me know what you think about this transfer. For me, as I said, I think it would be a decent signing. Now, he's got over just under 0.5 goal contributions per game. As I said, 86 goals, 28 assists, coming to 114 goal contributions in 214 games. So literally just under 0.5 goal contribution. Now, guys, I do understand that he's played for top clubs. He has played for the Arsenals. He's played for Chelsea's. And would he get the same kind of service that he would get out of those clubs at West Ham? And the simple answer is no, he wouldn't. Because we play a completely different style of football to what Arsenal play, to what Chelsea play. Chelsea play a nice, expansive style of football. They like to be on the front foot. They like to be possession-orientated. Similar to Arsenal, whilst it's not actually going very well for Arsenal right now, they do have similar morals. Now, if Giroud was to come to West Ham, and if he was to play up front and Antonio goes to the wing, or we change formation to maybe fit him in, then Olivier Giroud will be playing in a different style of play, a completely different philosophy of play. He will be asked to contribute more in terms of his work rate, in terms of actually getting behind the ball and being a solid foundation for us to go and counter-attack teams. Because right now, that is where I firmly believe West Ham are best right now. We are best when Teams are attacking us and we are on the counter-attack. You've only got to look at games such as Leicester, when they attacked us and we was on the counter-attack. A couple of passes in transition, Bowen was through 1-on-1 and scored. Wolves, when we won 4-0, very good at counter-attacking play from Fornals to going to Bowen, who then goes and scores. But when it comes to breaking down teams, we do need something a little bit different. I do believe we need something a little bit different. And Chelsea often rely on Olivier Giroud to give them something a little bit different. When they are unable to break teams down, you will normally see Olivier Giroud play or come on as a very early substitute, and he normally comes up trumps and breaks that team down because of the style of play he's got. When teams are sitting back, and that's why I firmly believe West Ham struggle right now. We struggle in terms of breaking teams down. Fulham, we struggle to create chances. Sheffield United, I do think we had more chances that game, but again, could we create more chances? And Aston Villa, we had 2 chances, we scored 2 goals, but in terms of when we actually get on the ball, because we're so used to teams attacking us, when it actually comes to, right, we've actually got controlled possession of the ball for a couple of minutes. Can we stamp out authority on the game? I feel like sometimes we are a little bit clueless, and a David Moyes team needs to sort of transition and improve in that regards. And I do believe Olivier Giroud, if he was going to come in, he could offer something a little bit like that, because when there is a low block, when we come to teams such as Burnley, who play a low block, who play defensive football, who play, right, we're going to sit on the edge of our 6-yard box, and you've got to try and break us down. Sebastian Haller, Antonio, in previous times we have struggled to kind of break those teams down. But then, if we have someone of the impact Olivier Giroud, who could play often, he could start, but could come off the bench, we could sort of, change our style of play and adapt to our position. So that's just my personal thoughts. He's going to be on huge wages. He's probably going to be on a minimum of 100k a week. So that is another downside. But do I believe he would be a good signing? For the short term, yes. I'd give him a maximum 2-year contract. Is that worth £5 million? Maybe. But because of the season we are currently having, guys, the season that we are currently having, we are 5th in the Premier League. If Olivier Giroud comes in, and he's the difference between, if he wins us 6 or 7 points, 8, 9 points, because we're playing teams such as Burnley away from home, we're at home, we're struggling to break teams down, he comes on, nicks a goal like he does very often for Chelsea, he would be a very astute signing. And I do understand his physical traits. He's not the fastest. Ideally, long term, is he what David Moyes probably wants? Maybe not. He probably wants someone who's a little bit more mobile, can also hold the ball up in terms of Antonio. But again, I don't think he trusts Sebastian Haller to come on the pitch and replace Antonio and do the kind of impact to nick a goal, to hold the ball up, to be aggressive, to win. Whilst I do believe Haller is very good in the air and he does win a lot of duels, there seems to be a question mark in terms of his aggression, in terms of his hold-up play in the Premier League. So Olivier Giroud has been there and done it. If we was to sell Haller in the summer or in January, and we was to sign a short-term option in Olivier Giroud, and then whilst we've signed Olivier Giroud for the next year or two, then go and scout our long-term option. Because, guys, he's 34 years of age. He's not getting any younger. So there will be a time and a place where he'll be like, right, we need to cut our losses. You need to leave this football club. You need to be released. But then, whilst he's been at the football club, if we used our noggin, we would actually go and look at our long-term replacement for Antonio, for Giroud, because Antonio's not getting any younger too. He gets constant injuries, constant hamstring injuries. He's 30 years of age. So guys, that is going to be the end of the video. Put your opinion in the comment section. Do you believe Olivier Giroud would be a good signing for West Ham? Also, put down why you believe it. For me, yes, you take into account his physical, the amount of wages and his age, what he could bring to us in terms of points, what he could bring to in terms of, playing a different style of play when we play a different kind of opposition. I think he would be a decent signing given the right price, for like £3 to £4 million. I think it would be a decent signing. I do believe so. And that is my opinion. I would like to know your opinion, guys. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. As I said, we're very close to 1,400 subscribers on a West Ham channel. When I started this in lockdown, I started it just to sort of buy time. And it's sort of been... I'm so passionate about West Ham. I hope that comes across in the video. So, guys, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And I'll catch you next time. See you later.